how you been, mate?
Oh, right, mate.
Freaking day, weekend.
I've fucking done all the rolled into one now, mate.
Yeah. Had Galaxy Juniors and Geelong Women's Seniors booked in at the leisure time today because their park's waterlogged around the shit. That was just... That's some people are dumb. They got... I know you've seen it maybe at the leisure time. They walk in, right? And there's a bin there for donating sneakers and things like that. It's called Leisure Runners. There's a sign there. This freaking Dronko has come in about to drop his coffee cup in there. Another person 5 minutes later comes into the bag or whatever. They have a look. They're looking, reading. Went to drop it in. It's like, you fucking illiterate. How dumb are you? People are dumb. Oh, shit.
Well, I got to leave back on the whistle, mate, so...
No worries.
I've got to be high gear because I've got to get to Richmond at 6.
Going for dinner or something? Or?
No, Morgan.
Oh, Morgan's at Richmond, yeah. How's he doing? How's it finding?
Yeah, he's alright, mate. Yeah, he's okay, he's enjoying it. It's mate, thank you very much.
End of the day, we know it on it. It's a very good club to be part of. Oh, obviously you don't know what it's like inside the inner sanctum, but you don't. Good, you think that club is a really good club.
Yeah.
What was the mood like last week after the first loss?
Disappointing, I think, mate. I mean, look, I'm not involved. I don't want to be involved, but Morgan said they were pretty pissed after the game.
Right.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. You can, yeah, Isaac, you can hear me fine, yeah? Testing 1 2. You can hear me fine. Microphone 2. Microphone 2. Do it. And microphone 1 coming up.
1 2 3. Testing. 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2. Are they same levels? One louder than the other, or the same? Craig.
Yeah.
Craig, you go now. Just talk.
1 2. Testing. Elko Park.
And this is me. Microphone 2. Microphone 2. Both the same level. Yeah, cool.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Somebody needs to press that on their phone. All right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. You going to let us know when we're on air?
Now I would have thought. Press the button, Stu. Yeah. You need to do it on your phone, though.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I don't think it
Yeah,
can.
no worries.
I don't think it can, mate. Can it? Not level now. It looks as if it's going to snap off in the middle, mate. Be careful with that, if I was you. I think, yeah, you might.
This side.
Huh? Oh, yeah, do that. And do those then. And do those a little bit. These silver things look yellow. Yeah, that's it, right. I'm going to have a look, see what it looks like. Hang on.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to a very cold and blustery Alco Park in Geelong for the big round 13 clash in the NPL2 Victoria between the home side North Geelong Warriors and the Moreland Zebras. My name is Tonchi Prusak and I'll be with you for the next 2 hours as we're about to kick off here at Alco Park. And the action is underway. It's a cold, windy day, rather dry conditions, but the surface is going to be rather bumpy. And joining me in the commentary box, my co-host and a man who knows the inner sanctum down at North Geelong Warriors quite well, Craig Filer. Craig, good afternoon. And what can we expect from the home side, the Warriors, who are kicking to the left of our screen?
Hi, good evening, good afternoon, Tonch, and good afternoon, listeners. Look, the pitch is, as you said, very, very heavy. Tonch, there's already been 2 games on here today with the 19s and the 21s. We've had a lot of rain down here in Geelong, as we have all across Melbourne over the last few days, and it's going to be a tough gig. These are a very, very good Moreland Zebra side. Through to the next round of the FFA Cup. Got some fantastic players, and it'll be a good game.
When they say it's a 6-pointer, often it's so overused that it becomes a cliche. But in today's case, Craig, this is really a 6-pointer. We've got 8th place Moreland Zebras only 1 point ahead. 7th place Moreland Zebras only 1 point ahead of the 8th placed Warriors, and with the game in hand. So a win today will let the Zebras move to 4 points clear of the Warriors, but the Warriors then really need this win. So a must-win game in effect for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Zebras had a very good FFA Cup win in the week. That's now behind them, as did North Geelong against Avondale, with their eyes really and their focus was on today's game, and a must-win game for North. But as you said, it's for both sides.
As the Warriors kicking to the left of your screen, looking resplendent in their red, white and blue kit, and the Moreland Zebras, the famous Juventus kit of black and white stripes, and in fact the Zebras are the modern day version of the great historical Brunswick Juventus, a club that has been around since the late 1940s here in Victoria, and both these clubs share a rich tradition. And for those fans of the European Soccer Championships or the European Football Championships, this would be a case of Croatia versus Italy, with the 2 clubs proudly supported by their respective communities, as we see the ball go out of play, and it is going to be a throw-in to the Warriors. Let's go through the team lineups, Craig. We're going to start off with the North Geelong Warriors, the home team, and in goal we've got Hamish Flavel, number 1. Who's next?
Number 5, Anthony Banavats, who's centre-back, with number 7, Ryan Opperman, that's the captain. Number 8, Michael Anderson. Number 9, Luka Jukovic. Number 11, John Pikett. Number 17, Jamie Nogner. Number 24, Lucas Goko. Number 26, Nick Kosdra. Number 35, Matthew Stozic. And number 35, George Ellis. And for Moreland Zebras, in goal, Konstantinovsky. Number 2, Nathan Tidmarsh. Number 3, Nicholas Samoy. Number 4, Tremaine Sadler. Number 5, Matthew Watley. Number 6, Dario Vidicic. Number 8, Josh Knight. Number 10, Thomas Barafosh. Number 11, Jake Bakerdash. Number 16, David Cardamone. Number 14, and the captain is Cameron Watson.
Well, we've gone just on 4 minutes now. Still no score. It's very blustery, very windy. We've said it before, and certainly here in the wide, expansive plains of Alco Park, located in the northern Geelong suburb of Lara, it can become very, very, I guess the weather conditions can become very focal to the outcome of the game. But also the ground looks rather heavy, Craig, and there has been a bit of traffic on it, obviously, prior to the main game here with the curtain raiser. But you had a walk along the pitch and had a bit of an inspection. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's heavy, Tonches. Look, it's dry. There's not really any wet patches on there. It's a very dry pitch. We do get a lot of wind down here at Alco Park. It is dry, but it is going to be very, very heavy underfoot.
As Zebras look to take the ball out of their defence and launch a bit of a counter-attack now. It's Barforosh there getting a free kick after being brought down by Stosic. There's two Stosic brothers involved in the game today. We've got Matthew, number 34, and then we've also got Mitchell, number 20, who is on the bench. One of 5 players for the Warriors on the bench. Free kick taken there by Watson, Cameron Watson. He's the captain for the Zebras. As we said, these two clubs share a rich history, and certainly the Warriors, one of the Warriors' most famous moments in their 54-year history was in 1992, their first year in the Victorian Premier League then, when they managed to defeat the then Brunswick Juventus. As the Warriors now will stay with this, going to attack now. It's Michael Anderson on the edge of the box. He tries to look for Jamie Nogler, who launches a shot from a good 20 metres out, but ricochets off his own teammate. It's the Zebras now in command with Josh Knight getting the ball back to one of his teammates. A good frenetic start to the proceedings, Craig, and it's gone from end to end in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, we're going to be having a lot of that today. I think both sides need to win, as we've already discussed on, and it's going to be very much an end-to-end game. You know, some good players in both these sides. Just a note, Tonch, if anybody's trying to watch on the NPL Victoria Facebook page, it doesn't seem to be uploaded, but it is live on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. So if you're having trouble logging on Facebook, head over to the YouTube channel and you'll find the game being streamed there.
I guess if they're watching us, they're probably watching us on the YouTube channel.
They won't be able to hear me, will they?
Don't try and go on the Facebook channel, Maybe there's a worldwide Facebook outage and who knows. But Ryan Oppenham, the captain, now gets it all the way back to Flavel. Two of the key players of today's game. They're both fairly still young, and that's the thing about this Warriors team. There's a lot of experience there, but a lot of youth as well. Quite a few teenagers there, and Craig, some of the players that we need to watch out for as Anderson now looks for one of those players, Jamie Nogler, on the edge of the box. Yeah,
look, you talk about youngsters, Tonch. Yes, they are youngsters, but they're all got, in excess of 20 league appearances. So they're no longer kids. They're now experienced NPL players, and the opportunities for them down here in North is always going to be the way, because it's the way that they want to play and develop and promote the youngsters. So yeah, we talk about youngsters, but they're they're established senior players now, Tonch.
As Pikett now has the ball, looks inboard looking for Anderson. It's Opperman now. He sprays it out wide, looking for Nogler. Can Nogler get to the ball before the byline? Yes, he does. He's got Tidmarsh there on his coast. And a nice little shot there. It was a headed effort there by, I think it was John Pikett, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
the calls for handball.
Header back in from Pikett there. And yeah, it looked handball. There's a few shouts for handball, but referee waved it away.
And we were talking about that historical moment back in 1992 when the North Geelong Warriors defeated the then Brunswick Zebras 4-1 in the grand final at the old iconic Middle Park. The coach on the day was none other than Branko Chulina, the famous A-League and NSL coach, whose son Jason went on to become a famous Socceroo. And speaking of Socceroos, the then captain of the North Geelong Warriors back in 92 on that triumphant day was none other than Steve Horvath, who went on to become a very, very well-known Socceroo captain, and is currently one of the co-directors of the Western United Football Club in the A-League. Speaking of the A-League, tomorrow the grand final. Can the Victorians capture it from the Sydney Siders? Melbourne City taking on Sydney FC. Craig, any tips for that game?
Nope.
Well, I'm going to say it's going to be the home side who are going to break the monotony from the Sydney Siders, or certainly us Victorians are hoping that will be the case. But back to Geelong and back to Alco Park here as the Warriors keep up their relentless attacking pursuits in the opening stages of this game. As we said, a very important game because the Moreland Zebras currently in 8th position with 12 points. They've got a game in hand. North Geelong Warriors in 9th position with 11 points. That's one less than the Zebras. And they've played 10 games so far. And for recently appointed coach Stuart Begg, this will be his 4th game now. And the Warriors will be looking to continue their unbeaten streak in league games. They did suffer a 5-1 loss during the week, Craig, in the FA Cup game there against the mighty Avondale FC. You were commentating that with one of our co-hosts, Steve Curtin. How did you see that game from a Warriors perspective?
Yeah, look, from a Warriors perspective, it was about minutes. It was about getting minutes into... I'll just break there, pause there, and North need to be very mindful of the experience. And we talked about the A-League players earlier on, and you know, Moreland Zebras do have Dario Vidicic in their starting lineup today, ex-Adelaide, Melbourne City striker.
Yeah,
they just need to be mindful of him. But yeah, going back to Tuesday night, it was a good workout for the North squad. You know, there's a few boys that live in Melbourne that hadn't had the opportunity to train, so it was a good opportunity for them to get some minutes under their legs. And yeah, look, it was everybody got through it, which was the important bit. And whilst it would have been nice to go through, it wasn't the It wasn't to be, and it certainly wasn't one of the highlights that the club were looking for. This is far more important than an FFA Cup game, unfortunately. Now,
Luka Jurkovic, number 9, there in action for the Warriors. He had a penalty miss on Tuesday night, but the lone goal scorer for the Warriors was number 24, Luka Skorko, the son of yet another famous Socceroo, Josip Skorko, who is also the football operations director here at the Warriors. So a lot of current ex-Socceroos and possibly future Socceroos in action here today. Well, not current, but certainly former Socceroos. And we've gone just on 11 minutes. It's still 0-0 here as the wind has started to pick up. It's coming more or less across the goal, and it's basically blowing straight in our faces, Craig, as we find ourselves exposed to the winter weather on the outer side of Alco Park. And I'm enviously looking towards the grandstand where all those people are huddled under cover and probably protected from the wind.
Yeah, it's certainly got a bit breezy now. It's been lovely all day. Been down here since 9 o'clock this morning, and it's been fantastic. But look, the game's heating up on the pitch now, and the boys are starting to get warm. And I'm sure it'll settle down. The game will start settling down now, and we'll see some good football.
A welcome to all of our Facebook viewers. The Facebook viewers are back on deck, so joining our YouTube viewers, drop us a comment in the comment section. Let us know where you are watching this game from, anywhere in the world. I'm sure we've got a few international viewers as well. There's probably a few local ones as well. It's Tonchi Prusak here on the microphone, and alongside me, Craig Filer. Hoping you are nice and warm wherever you may be, and you enjoy today's live stream coverage of the North Geelong Warriors versus Moreland Zebras clash. It's a big round 13 clash here at Alco Park, and the opening 12 or so minutes have been rather even. No side has had a clear chance, I suppose, as yet. But having said that, both sides are certainly outlining their intentions for the afternoon, and that is to really maintain an attacking style throughout, as we see John Pikett nudge the ball out for a Zebras throw-in right in front of our commentary box here at the halfway line. Our officials for today, the man in the middle, Lazaros Pantelidis, and his 2 assistant referees, Noah Langerak and Daniel Porter, and our 4th official, Nick Van Rooy. So good luck to the gentlemen in the purple. And the Zebras now controlling proceedings just inside their defensive half. Switch out to Waitley, who's got the ball now. He's got all the time in the world, plenty of space as Jurkovic now runs across to apply a little bit of pressure. Simioi, he goes backward now to Sadler. Waitley looking for an option further afield. Decides to go to Simioi. There's Kosdra there nipping in between, and once again he pokes the ball out pretty much in the identical position that Pikett did about 2 minutes ago. Barfarosh goes across the face of the goal. Zebras looking for options once again. Barkadesh. Barfarosh, he's got 2 players to contend with. Luka Skorko gets it to Jurkovic. He's in board, he's outnumbered by the number of Zebras players there. Watson managed to get it away, only temporarily though. Kosdra goes down. Referee waves play on. Pikett now crosses it in. Jurkovic has got a player or two. Cuts it across looking for Nogla. Pikett now skies the ball. Anderson is amongst the thick of the action, but it is nodded away for a corner to the Warriors. Kosdra in the meantime picks himself up. He runs across. Looks like he may end up taking it, or will it be Jamie Nogla?
No, I think this will be whipped in on the keeper. Tonch, get an early ball in there. Put the keeper under pressure early. See what he's made of. I would imagine it's going to be a deeper ball than near. And there it goes. Up.
I think it was George Ellis with that header.
I think it was Anthony Banavats, wasn't it?
Was it Banavats or header?
Yep.
Ellis, one of those two centre backs running back now. Some important games being played today. Werribee City are hosting Brunswick City, and I do believe, if it hasn't already been the case, the brand new multi-million-dollar pavilion is about to be the keys handed to Werribee City. If it's not today, it certainly will be within the next 7 days. So we're certainly wishing the Werribee City Club all the very, very best with their brand new facilities.
And they're winning 1-0 after 19 minutes, Tonch.
Well, there you go. Celebrations have started. Another famous Italian-backed club here in Victoria. Oh, gee, have we got some great ones there. Northcote City at home to Lang Warren Soccer Club at John Cain Reserve. That game is kicking off at 3:30. We've got the Goulburn Valley Suns at home to Manningham United Blues in Shepparton at the John McEwen Reserve. Later this afternoon, Pascoe Vale hosting Bulleen Lions at CB Smith Reserve. And then on Monday night, to complete round 13, we've got Kingston City at home to Moreland City. Zebras now looking ominous. Vidosic tries to cross it and he skies it, and it looks like it is going to be a corner.
Yeah, ball in the box, well defended from George Ellis, away for a corner. We said this wind, Tonch, is coming. You know, it's quite strong from left to right. There's going to be a lot of balls in behind, I think, for North to deal with today.
Yeah, where we're standing, it almost seems like it's quite spirally, and it is renowned to be like that here at Alco Park. As viewers, you can see there's quite a fair bit of wide expanses surrounding us here. It's quite an exposed site. Beautiful little boutique ground. It's got 3 fantastic pitches and a great club room, as we said, steeped in football history. Some of the greats have come from this club. And we just name a few. Josip Skoko, Steve Horvat, Matthew Spiranovic is another one. And indeed, Joey Didlic, a former Croatian international, started his career here as well. And who knows, we may be seeing a few future Socceroos strutting their stuff on the Alco Park surface pitch now as we speak. The last time these two sides met, it was round 2 at CB Smith Reserve early in the season, and it was a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, very hot, tough day that one, Tonch. I think the players certainly, I remember that very well. The players came off there, and I think all of them just slumped to the ground after the games. A very hard game of football for them. Very different to today's conditions.
Now, last week, Moreland Zebras game against Brunswick City, that was washed out. That was due to be played last Friday night, and Northcote City hosted the Warriors last week, and the Warriors were very unlucky not to come home with all 3 points. The equaliser, they will lead up 1-0, and then the equaliser, I think, was it the 94th minute or something like that?
Yeah, they're very unlucky. It's they played very well, considering it was their obviously first game for 28 days, like everybody else. A lot of players that hadn't played any football at all, and it was a good game of football, and very unlucky not to get all 3 points, but a very, very late equaliser for Northcote, who I have to say were probably the better side in the second half and probably deserved a point, although North will be feeling very hard done by that. They got the equaliser and as you said, Tonch, in the 94th minute.
Werribee City still leading Brunswick City 23 minutes there. We've got another progress score as well involving another Croatian community-backed club, St Albans Saints. They are playing away to Eastern Lions, and the scoreline there is after 27 minutes 0-0. So an NPL 1 or NPL Victoria clash happening as we speak. Cagey sort of a opening, would you say, Craig?
Yeah, it's going to be, Tonch. I think it's everybody feeling each other out, looking for little opportunities. It's certainly not going to be a high-scoring game, but there's going to be opportunities for both sides. Rest assured, and it's whoever takes those opportunities is probably going to come out the winner.
As Barnavats now is brought down, free kick to the tall centre back from the North Geelong Warriors. There's a lot of height there in the Warriors backline with Stosic number 34, Barnavats number 5 as well. And even George Ellis, he's a young fella, but he's a kind of a reasonably tall fella as well. He's pushed up a little bit now, but he's on the outer looking for that cross. As Pikett is unable to do that, and the ball goes out of play. And in fact, it may be a
offside. I think
it was an offside actually, not a goal kick. As we said, both sides are really keen to grab 3 points and start their ascent towards the top of the table. And after 13 rounds, obviously with a few games still to be played, so in effect 10 games have been played. We've got Kingston City and Pascoe Vale both with 19 points. Brunswick City with a game in hand on 18. Goulburn Valley Suns 18. Northcote City 16. Langwarrin 15. Moreland City 14. And then we have the Zebras with a game in hand on 12 points in 8th position. Stosic now. Kozra fighting there with Barfarosh. Barfarosh gets it back now to Knight. He's got Opperman and Pikett to contend with. Kozra now gets it to Jurkovic. Opperman now goes looking for Nogla with a driving, penetrating attempt for a through ball. But now it's the Zebras now launching a quick counter-attack right in front of the clubhouse here at Alco Park. They're now slowing it down, looking to settle it down. I think that was Vidosic now. Jurkovic to Pikett, who's been very busy in the opening stages of this game. Looking to knock it back to Jurkovic, but it is going to be Sadler now, hugging the line. Stosic. Bit of a wasted effort there. The ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into the Zebras, deep inside their defensive half, Craig.
Yeah, just looking at just touching base there with the leagues and the positions, Tonch. It is very, very close. You know, you put 2 wins together. You know, for instance, North put with 2 wins together the next 2 games, 16 points there. They're up in 4th or 5th place if other results go for you. So it's a very, very tight league. Everybody can beat one another, which is exactly what NPL2 was designed for. The best 6 teams from each league playing in a competitive environment week in, week out.
Absolutely, that's exactly what we want to see happening. As Jurkovic now on the edge of the box, he finds Nogla. He's going to go back to Ellis, I'd say, to his right. Maybe not. Maybe so. And Ellis now has the ball on the far right. Very tight, compact Zebras defence, ensuring the Warriors haven't got many players loose. Skorko now, and Ellis. Ball's cleared away now by the Zebras. Barfarosh trying to go for the ball with the Barnavats. Nogla nips in, he goes back to Stosic. Opperman. Kozra. Is knocked over there. Bar Kadesh has it then tonight. It's going to be offside, and by a mile, that's Thomas Barfarosh. It's interesting to note for both teams, the goals have been really, the goal scorers, I should say, have been really spread out this year. Barfarosh and Dario Vidosic are the main goal getters for the Zebras. They have both scored 3 goals each. For the Warriors, it's Jamie Nogla happens to be the main goal scorer with 4 and Luka Jurkovic 3. So there isn't really any one main target man for either side. it seems to be shared around, so we can expect very much the same today. Although it must be said that, I don't know if you can sort of see it on the screen, but certainly the wind is quite fundamental to, I think will be fundamental to the outcome of today's game.
Yeah, it's certainly picked up in the last 45 minutes or so, Tonch.
As Kozra now tries to control it, he does well, finds Pikett. Pikett's been very busy, as we mentioned. He's done really well in the opening stages. Kozra now, he's surrounded by black and white, tries to go through a brick wall, doesn't succeed. Knight now knocks it further afield, and the ball is going to find Flavel. Immediately Flavel sprays it out to his right, looks for George Ellis, who, it must be said, he's only a young player, but he's been very impressive this year, Craig.
Been very good since he's come into the fold 2 seasons ago. Tonch, he's still learning the game.
I think he's still only about 19, isn't he, or 18 or something
19,
like that?
You know, still learning the game, but getting better with every moment that he gets on the field. And as I said earlier on, you know, North do want to encourage young players to get on the pitch as early as they can. And put them in situations that perhaps sometimes they're uncomfortable in. That's the only way you're going to get to develop your players, is putting them in uncomfortable situations and seeing how they get on with it.
Absolutely. Ryan Opperman, the captain, came in and made sure that I think it was Josh Knight there on that occasion wasn't able to do much, and he knocked the ball, probably wind assisted as well, but knocked it out for a corner to the Zebras, and that's going to be taken by David Cardomone. And he'll be kicking this into a stiff wind. Goes for a bit of height, it swirls around. Stosic knocks it away. Pikett now, he's got a little bit of space. He's got Nogler screaming for it up front. He's going to go that way. Doesn't deliver it so well. Kozra now kicks it forward. A little bit speculative, a little bit hopeful. But in the end, it ends up with Kostadinovski, the Zebras' custodian. Both sides have been quite disciplined in the back line. And when they haven't got the ball, they're closing down their opponents well. And I guess that translates into a very nice defensive game. But both sides at the moment, I think, are, as you mentioned, Craig, feeling out the opposition as we see a throw in to Nikola Simioy. Here we found Barbarosh, back to Simioy, ball goes out of play, knocked out by Opperman, once again throw in. Barbarosh quickly takes it. Simioy. Sorry, that was Josh Knight, I should say, number 8.
It's a fantastic
He goes
ball
for Vidosic on the edge of the box. And a skied effort there by Nathan Tidmarsh, goes well over the target. And it is going to be a goal kick. I know we've harped on about the weather conditions, probably a little bit too much, Craig, but would you say it's favouring any one of the teams out in the middle?
Not really, Tonch. I think it's... I don't really know what it's doing. You look around, the trees are not moving, but there is hell of a breeze coming in. I don't think it's affecting really anybody. Just got both sides need to get the ball down on the floor and try and play anything in the air, and it's just going to hang or run out. So get the ball on the floor and move it as quick as we can is my recommendation. But I'm not the coach.
Apparently we've got a progress score, Craig, from the Werribee City game.
Oh yeah, Werribee City 32 minutes in, and it's Werribee City 1, Brunswick City 1. So after an early goal for Werribee, it's Brunswick who've pulled one back, and it's 1-1 there at Galvin Park.
And the game, John Cain reserved between Northcote City and Langwarrin, has kicked off. Naturally enough, or understandably enough, after 2 minutes, the score remains 0-0. As the sun finally breaks through here at Elko Park. And now it's quite nice and sunny and glary at the same time, but we love winter football, don't we, Craig? After the lockdowns of last year and even recently, I think the colder, the better it is.
I love all football, Tonch. Been here since 8:30 this morning. I was at Green Gully Reserve commentating last night with a good friend, Steve Curtin. I'm out again tomorrow. We have the show tomorrow night. Yeah, everything football, love it.
And one game, I tell you, which will have a direct impact on what is happening here, obviously, is going to be the Werribee City-Brunswick City game at Galvin Park. And guess what? We have got another score from Galvin Park, and it looks like the home team has broken through for a second goal. So it's 2-1 to Werribee City. As the live ladder stands, Werribee City now would be on 10 points. 10 points, so they would be just 1 point behind the Warriors as it stands now. As the Moreland Zebras bench now gets up, and they're going to be doing some warm-up and stretches. They'll be joining their North Geelong counterparts who have taken their little bit of territory right near the corner flag, trying to stay as warm as possible on a rather cold day. But as we said, we're loving the fact that winter football is here, and certainly wherever you may be tuning into this live, an exclusive live stream on the NPL Victoria Facebook page and the YouTube channels, we're hoping that you are enjoying it wherever you may be, and you may have a nice hot cup of chocolate or coffee or a tea or something a little bit of the stronger stuff if it's not too early for you. As Cosdra now battling for the ball, he knocks over Josh Knight. It falls over, there's nothing there. Skorkor now comes ominously close into the... And it's a shot there by Luka Jurkovic. Opens the scoring. Got onto his left foot there. He turned on a sixpence. And he managed to evade Kostadinovski, who dove to his left but wasn't able to do a great piece of play there by Skorkor.
Yeah, well played from Lucas Skorkor there. Picked up the ball deep, run at the Zebras defence, and a great little ball into Luka Jurkovic, who toe poked the goal into the corner, and it's 1-0 to North Geelong after 31 minutes.
Fantastic start for the home side now, and they really did well there, and it was a fantastic goal, brilliant goal, and that was a real... a goal scorer's opportunity, and I think I've said it in previous broadcast streams. He so reminds me of another famous Socceroo Jurkovic and another famous number 9 in Mark Viduka. He's built like the proverbial, and on that occasion he was able to fend off any of his opponents, but also he just had that nose for goal. So Jurkovic's first goal this afternoon, and he's also his fourth for the season as the Zebras now go back into attack. Storšić now clears it away, but only as far as Watson now. Knight. He's got Skorkor on Cosdra there. He's done well, Knight there. Managed to get that away. And the referee points to the spot, not the penalty spot, but to the goal kicking spot, and says it is going to be a goal kick to North Geelong, and he's issued out a yellow card. I think was that to Josh Knight?
Yeah, Josh Knight, my fellow Welshman, is good football player is Josh, but yeah, I think his temper got the best of him there, and thought he should have had something. I think he thought he should have had a corner. He didn't. The referee gave a goal kick and a yellow card to go with it.
I thought you were about to start talking in Welsh there, Craig, for a minute.
You definitely wouldn't have wanted to hear me speak Welsh, mate. There'd be spit everywhere.
Luckily, we're socially distancing and we're 1.5 metres away from each other as we see the Zebras go back into attack. And that was quite a brutal tackle there. I don't think it was intentional. I think it was a little bit of 50-50, but George Ellis has certainly come off second best on that occasion. And he's going to get a free kick. No malice intended, I think. That was, Cardamone, was it? David Cardamone? It was indeed. No, it was in fact.
Just looked at that on the replay there. Like it was a poor first touch, and George Ellis tried to get there, and the midfielder for Zebras went through, but there was no malice in that one. No.
Flavel now looking for a blade of grass where he can.
Good luck with that.
Put the ball on, a bit like a golfer looking for the perfect spot for his tee, and he launches one now. Deep inside his attacking half. Jurkovic there. Anderson, the sprints, the veteran running there, gets to the ball first and is tripped over. There's, it's going to be a throw in now to the Zebras. Inspirational play there by Anderson. I think he's clocked up something like 12 seasons here at Alco Park, but he still managed to find a turn of pace there and get to the ball first. And he's letting the referee know that in his opinion it was a wrong decision. As the ball goes out by Skorkor, and it is going to be a throw-in to the Zebras. We were perfectly placed there, and so too was the assistant referee about 5 metres down the track. Thrown to Simioi. Hope I've pronounced that correctly. I was about to yell out to him. Did I say your name correctly? Well, that close to the action.
Yeah, look, we are very close here. It's a good commentary position.
Isn't it? We've been to some other grounds, and this is right up against the line and right up against the fence. It's absolutely fantastic from a commentator's perspective.
Yeah, myself and Steve are another Goodwood ground, and is Green Gullies in the amphitheatre type experience you've got there at Green Gully Reserve. We were high up on a bank overlooking the facility. We were there last night on a very cold, miserable night, and I have to say it was a miserable game of football, to be honest with you. It was 2 sendings off at Green Gully, and not a lot of action apart from that in the game, which finished 3-1 to Oakley Cannons. But yeah, very dour game of football.
35 minutes gone here at Alco Park. Anything but dull, as the home side leading the Zebras 1-0. Good start for the Warriors, as Kozra now goes forward, looking for Jurkovic, and rightly so, the assistant referee puts his flag up to suggest that it is an offside, and it is going to be a free kick to the Zebras. Jurkovic probably in his frustration kicked that ball away, and the Zebras' defence was urging the referee to give him a yellow card, or what is it called these days, Craig? A slice of cheese. Who came up with that? We'd love to know.
No idea, but our good friend and contributor to everything Victorian football, Brenton Ray, called it a slice of cheese last week and a red tomato for a red card. I've never heard it in my life. And
I don't think I want to hear it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Are we playing a game of football, or are we selling some fruit and veg? The local market. Slice of cheese. Anyway, back to more saner topics, and that is the game of football happening in front of our eyes. As a shoe repairman, possibly by trade, Matthew Waitley there doing some repairs to his boot.
Another Welshman.
Another Welshman.
Yeah, he is. He's from
surrounded by him.
He's from Merthyr Tydfil.
Kozra's been ever reliable on that left full-back position. The opening stage of this game. Sadler now has the ball for the Zebras. Goes forward, looking for a teammate. Watson now. Vidosic. George Ellis now trying to get that ball. Vidosic now once again. Over to his mate. Barker Daesh now. Vidosic goes forward, and it's going to be an offside there. That was Thomas Barforosh poked in behind the enemy line. Managed to get his foot to the ball, but the assistant referee there was very quick onto it.
Yeah, I think whoever's that's just had something pop up my screen that Moreland Zebras had equalised. Unfortunately, unfortunately for you, it's still 1-0. It was offside, and yeah, and they've just put it up, Moreland Zebra goal on the Facebook page as well. But as I said, it's definitely not a goal. It's
Definitely
still 1-0 to North Geelong.
Skorkor now in action there with Cardamone. Barforosh.
That's Vidosic, I think.
Barker Daesh now. Josh Knight. Skorkor goes ahead looking for Jurkovic. Sadler gets it back to his keeper, Kostadinovski, who lets it fly right in front of our commentary position now. Knight and Kozra do battle for it. Knocked off the ball, Kozra using his shoulder.
Well played.
Beautifully.
Well played, Nick Kozra.
Now. He's clipped there. It's going to be a free kick, and the referee saw that. Well positioned. A good refereeing there on that occasion. I think Matthew Waitley, your fellow Welshman's, didn't see that and thought, what the hell is going on, ref? But definitely it was the right decision.
Yeah, definitely.
And North Geelong captain now Ryan Opperman has the ball. He's literally about, 7.5 metres away from us. It's incredible. Loving this vantage point. Might even grab his autograph, Craig.
Great ball from Opper. Great ball. Unfortunately, offside.
I think that's the beauty about these NPL streams. You see some of the A-League action on Fox Sports and what you're not, and the ball just seems so far, so distant, particularly their camera angles. These NPL streams, and I've watching a few of these games, it's absolutely incredible how close you are to the action, and it just seems that you can almost see the expression on the players' faces. And it is going to be a free kick, an offside decision there against the Zebras. Free kick to North Geelong Warriors. It's approaching half-time in the NPL clash between Eastern Lions and St Albans, 0-0. Werribee still leading Brunswick City 2-1, and we've gone 44 minutes there. And after a quarter of an hour at John Cain Reserve, Northcote City and Langwarrin are 0-0. Other games this afternoon or evening, Goulburn Valley Suns hosting Manningham United. That game kicks off at 4 o'clock. And then a little later on at CB Smith Reserve, Pascoe Vale taking on the Bulleen Lions. So, great afternoon of action in NPL 2, round 13. Some important games happening right around the region, right around the state, in fact. As Stosic has lots of time. He's got two players to contend with. And the ball gets out of play, and it will be a throw-in to the Warriors. Good play there by Stosic. He had two players to contend with, but managed to do quite well. Referee's just stopped action now because Opperman is down. He's it looks like he's winded, I think, more so than anything else. Oh, no, it could be his knee.
Yeah, he's okay. Big shout out to Daryl Taylor from the UK. Morning, gang. Well, it is morning in the UK. Do you know the scores of the Werribee game? We don't, Daryl. Unfortunately, we know that they're 2-1 up. We'll do our very best to try and find that out for you, and hopefully we'll bring that to you shortly. But great to see you hearing from or listening in from the UK. Hope everything's well there. Let us know where you're catching the game from.
Zebras once again in possession of the ball. Sprang out wide to Waitley. Waitley's got Simioya on his right. Decides to go inboard to his left to Cardamone. He finds Sadler. Sadler goes out to Tidmarsh, I think it is, over on the far side. Ball goes further afield tonight
to me,
now. He looks like offside. You were right, Craig. Good call. And the assistant linesman was well placed there. The refereeing has been quite good today. Although the Moreland Zebras coach might not be saying that.
Yeah, that it's always offside. Well, there might be a reason for that.
He might not be thinking that. And we're very, very close to the action. The microphones can certainly pick up the comments. It's almost like the coaches here are mic'd up, Craig. That's how close we are.
Yeah,
we see Anderson knocking it to...
move the ball.
Nogler now with the shot. I think he may have taken a deflection off one of the Zebras players.
Matt Watley, I think, got a touch on that, and it's out for a corner. And
it is going to be a corner now with just before half-time. We've gone 44 minutes. And it is going to be Ryan Opperman, who was only a few minutes ago, he was down. May have been winded, but he's made a quick recovery. As the ball now goes towards the back post. Kostra now with the
great header, great save. But a free kick, I think.
It will be. Might have been a push.
Good save from Kostadinov in the first instance, but a great header from Nick Kostra. Yeah, there's signs there, Tonch, putting those balls into those areas, but they were coming up to half time, and I believe there'll be a minute of added time in this first half. It'll be a case of North just going through the motions now. The next minute or so, getting into the sheds. Stewie Beggs and his coaching team will be going in and looking at areas that they can work on in the second half and try and get this all important second goal.
Ball still in play. The entire ball has to go out. And on that occasion, it hadn't. And it was Waitley now making a marauding run there. There's 1 minute to go. The fourth official now puts the board up. 1 minute to go. And we're already 15 seconds into that extra minute. So there won't be much time left. But overall, Craig, your assessment of the first half?
Yeah, look, I think it's been a very, very even game of football. Not a lot of goal-mouth action apart from the one goal that's been awarded to North Geelong. But yeah, fascinating game. Two sides are very much looking for that elusive win, I suppose, Tonch. That's going to get them on the winners platform. And certainly it's an entertaining game, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities in the first half. And George Ellis has just intercepted. That's a great run. He's running into the box. Get past him. And it's well defended from Moreland Zebras.
Calls for a penalty there, waved away.
Tremaine Sadler, I think it was there. Great save, great challenge.
It was a fantastic challenge, and there's certainly definitely no case of a penalty on that occasion. It has been an entertaining game, Craig, and just the one goal in it so far. A Luka Jurkovic strike in the 31st minute, and that is how it is going to stay here at the break at Elco Park. Cold winter weather, but the action on for the first 45 minutes has certainly been heartwarming, to say the least. We're going to take a little break here from Elco Park, and when we return in 15 minutes' time, we will have what we hope to be an enthralling second half contest between the Warriors and the Zebras. by Luka Jurkovic after some good build-up play by another Luka Skorko, as we're underway here at Alco Park. The wind has somewhat subsided, which was quite a focal point of the first half. The ground is very, very heavy though, and the ground, as we said, is quite heavy, and that no doubt will have an effect on the game and certainly how the Warriors pan out this second half, because this will basically be their third game in 7 days after their midweek FA Cup clash against Avondale FC, as we see Anthony Barnavats picking himself up. Craig Filer, welcome back to the microphone. If you've just tuned in, Craig, how did you see the first half from our point of view?
Yeah, as I said, very, very entertaining, I suppose, first half. Not a lot of goalmouth action, Tonch, but plenty of good football, both sides trying to play. It is very, very cold down here in Geelong today, and the pitch, as we said, is very, very wet underfoot, very heavy. So probably not contributing to brilliant football. But I suppose days like this is about who wants it more.
How much will that have an effect on the Warriors players? We know it's a very youthful side, very young side. So generally speaking, their fitness has been quite good. But having said that, fronting up after a pretty gruelling midweek game against the NPL giants Avondale FC, and then last week's game against Northcote City. This game, third game in 7 days, Craig, will that be a telling factor in the outcome of this game, in your opinion? No,
not at all, Tonch. These are guys that train 3 nights a week. They've got six players allowed on the bench now. I think 5 of them you can make substitutions for that reason of the fact that the COVID has hit. So it's good to see that Football Federation have allowed more substitutes. So that gives an opportunity to spread the load on the players. And it is hard. Don't get me wrong. I'll just break a second.
Was Josh Knight going for an effort there, and now we see Cameron Watson knocking it in. Chested down by Nick Kosdra, who has been one of the better players of the first half. Very impressive first half performance by Kosdra. And the ball now is sprayed right to that man in from by Havish Flavel, and Kosdra now going further afield looking for Pikett, but intercepted by Waitley. Back to Kosdra. Kicks the ball further afield, but unable to keep it in play, and he actually takes it out of play. So it is going to be a throw-in to the Moreland Zebras. We've got Oiram Atonei from Albury. He says Forza Juve in recognition of the Zebras' Italian heritage. Stosic now. Opperman knocking it casually back to Flavel. He now has plenty of time to try and either attract a Zebras player, and on that occasion almost has Barfarosh coming towards him. Knocked further afield by Anderson. Kosdra again looking for Jurkovic. Waitley now has the ball right in front of the dressing rooms. Goes further afield. Opperman. Kosdra. Looking for Jurkovic, but intercepted by one of the Zebras players. Skorko number 24 had the ball. Pikett now. Sprays it long. Looking for Jamie Nogler, but the ball went too far. Probably carried by the wind on that occasion, or assisted by the wind. Ball goes out of play for a goal kick to be taken by Nikola Kostadinovski.
Little shout out for the round the grounds, Tonch. We've got Werribee City still leading Brunswick after 49 minutes, 2-1. North Geelong here beating Moreland Zebras 1-0 after, again, 49 minutes. Northcote City take a 1-0 lead against Langwarren up at John Cain Reserve. And up at Golden Valley, it's Golden Valley 0, Manningham United 1.
And that's an interesting result, isn't it? The one at Golden Valley, Manningham United Blues on the bottom of the ladder at the moment, and that's 8 minutes in, and they've managed to take a lead against the Golden Valley Suns, who are only 1 point behind. They're in fourth spot actually, the Suns, but they're only 1 point behind the leaders, Kingston City.
Yeah, probably the best side I've seen this season.
Golden Valley Suns?
Valley, yeah. We had a game up there probably about a month ago, and they were a very, very good side. Craig Garley has got his side playing they're very, very well organised and a very disciplined and well organised attacking football inside.
Anderson manages to evoke a corner on that occasion. Beautifully done. And he just kicked the ball straight into Nathan Tidmarsh. And it is going to be a corner to the Warriors, looking resplendent in their red, white and blue. They're kicking to the right of your screen. The Zebras equally looking resplendent in their black and white stripes, reminiscent of the famous Juventus. Nogler now kicks it very hard to Kosdra. Nutmegs Tidmarsh, goes down, clutching his head, and then using that very same head to barrel into Tidmarsh. See some entertaining things on the football field, don't you?
I'm not sure whether that was intentional, but it did make me chuckle, that I have to say.
Maybe he was a bit disorientated, but everything's back to normal out on the field. Cameron Watson. I think fans of the Melbourne Knights will certainly remember Cameron Watson fondly. He's a good player at the Knights, and now he's captain of the Zebras. Kosdra to Pikett on the grandstand side, gets onto his right boot. Kosdra again. Intercepted there by Kadamorne. Zebras now look to turn defence into attack. Ball comes out to Vidosic. He's got George Ellis to beat. He does beat Ellis, but he can't beat Nogler, and he's going to get a free kick there. The referee, Pantelidis, I think has adjudged that George Ellis may have pulled his shirt on that occasion.
Yep, definitely a free kick, that one.
Now, for fans of local fans of the State League 1 competition, we've got a progress score from the Clifton Hill versus Corio game. It's just restarted there in the second half, and Corio are leading 2-1. A good result, or good score for the locals. As Watson now standing over the ball, goes to the far post. There's a host of red there, sea of red. Cardamone now. Oh, Watson, sorry. But it's Hamish Flavel. Sprays it out to Pikett. In front of the grandstand there. Knocks it off his opponent out. It's going to be a throw-in. He allows the ball to be picked up by Kosdra. Goes for a long throw. Rebounds back to Kosdra. His first touch let him down just a little bit. But nonetheless, he's going to get a free kick on that occasion. Quickly taken to Opperman. Goes to Barnovats. Goes out right, finds George Ellis now. Ellis finds Nogler. Inboard.
Yeah, good ball, Jamie Nogler.
To Opperman. Jurkovic. Finds Ellis now on the edge of the box. Curls it to the back post. There's Anderson. He's got plenty of space. He slips over. Manages to keep his footing. Half-hearted shot there. Kosdra now. Out to Barnovats. The Warriors have got a lot of space. Looking for his options. Goes a little bit of speculative effort there. George Ellis and Tidmarsh, I think it is. Vidosic tries to give it a bit of a heel kick on that occasion. Ball goes out of play. Throwing to be taken by Jamie Nogler.
Yeah, good bit of possession from North here, really putting some pressure on the back four of Moreland Zebras here. The coach Stuart Beggs just asking for the ball to be played in behind and try and get the defenders turning and facing their own goals, and then putting that extra bit of pressure on. Matthew Watley comes away with the experienced Matthew Watley comes away, and Moreland Zebras are on the charge. But a very poor touch there. Kosdra picks the ball up just inside his own half and runs with the ball, and there's numbers over here if it's worked correctly. Unfortunately, it falls apart, and it's back to Kostadinov in the Moreland Zebras goal, Tonch.
End-to-end stuff here at Alco Park. We've gone almost 55 minutes in the ball game. It's 1-0 to the North Geelong Warriors. They lead at the moment, but it's anyone's game. It has been a close tussle between two rather entertaining sides. And it's going to be a free kick on that occasion. Looks like Opperman has gone down. He's He was clipped at the heels there, and right in front of the assistant referee and the main referee there, he was placed, referee Pantelides. He was well placed to also deliver his decision on that occasion. Lazaros Pantelides, the man in the middle. He's supported by Noah Langerak, Daniel Porter as his assistants, and also we've got the fourth referee, or fourth official, Nick Van Roy. The officiating has been, generally speaking, of a pretty good standard today. Craig, would you agree?
Yeah, look, nothing really for him to, for the officials to be involved in. It's the games hasn't had any real incidents, which is always good to see. But it also tells you just how much of a game it is, because when the referees are quiet, it normally means it's a bit of a dull, boring game. But that's a great effort from Jamie Nogler. It's off the post, comes out to Lukovic,
pokes it.
Oh, and very unlucky. Well played there from North Geelong, from Jamie Nogler. Turned the full back inside out, let one go in the top corner, and pushed onto the...
Danger's not over. Nogler now has the ball. He's got Piker to his left. He goes that way. He's got three Zebras players around him, unable to do anything there. And now the Zebras going to attack with Josh Knight on the far side, pushed away by Cosdra. Goes to pass one, goes past another, and it is going to be a penalty.
Yeah, penalty.
It was Stosic, I think, that brought him down.
No, I think it was Cosdra.
Who, Cosdra, was it?
Yeah, I think it was Cosdra that caught him there as he got past Matthew Stosic. But that just shows you, how games can ebb and flow and change very, very quickly. At one end, Jamie Nogler has a cross shot that comes off the crossbar. Unfortunately, it wasn't followed up, and then they break. And it was a great run from Josh Knight to be fair, from the on the far right hand side as we're looking at it, and got into the box, and Nick Cosdra dangled out a leg, and it's a penalty to Moreland Zebras, which Dario Vidosic will take.
It's Vidosic up against Flavel, and a hush descends upon Alco Park. Both sides now, as Vidosic steps up. Flavel goes down the right way, but he's going to... It looks like he's going to have to retake that.
Yeah, I think he's going to retake it. I think because he stopped. You're not allowed to stop. I think that's the reason for that, and it's going to be a retake.
Well, there we go now. So, take two here at Alco Park. Cold wind as Vidosic now steps back to retake that. And this time he goes to the opposite direction. Flavel read it really well. Unfortunately for him, he was unable to get a hand on it, and he's very disappointed with himself, but absolutely read that like a book. And he'd be disappointed with himself. But nonetheless, scores are equal now. Parity has been restored here in the 59th minute. It's 1-1 here at Alco Park. And boy, Craig, have we got a ball game on our hands?
Yeah, game on. I think substitution here, and
number 11 coming off, Jake Barker-Daesh.
Yeah.
To be replaced by number 9, Nicholas Niagorian.
Yeah, he caused Geelong a fair bit of nuisance, or caused him, put himself about. It was a very nuisance for Moreland City last year or season before. Caused the club a lot of problems on the field. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to be exactly the same today.
Skorkov gets the ball up, looking for Jurkovic. The ball's headed out there by Tremaine Sadler, and it's going to be a throw into the Warriors. The Warriors are keen to now redeem themselves for that little bit of a, what's been described as a brain snap, I suppose, by the people down here on the sidelines. As Nogler now has the throw in. Wiping the ball clean. He goes for a long throw. Deep inside, it's Barnabas, heads it on. George Ellis also there. But it's going to be taken away by the Zebras through Vidosic. Streaming forward now. And the ball's going to be kept in play. No, it's not. The assistant referee points his flag up. That was Thomas Barfarosh. Tried to keep the ball in line. But the assistant referee was positioned there, and he's judged it to have gone over.
Yeah, that's the ball. Over the top, calls the defence to backtrack. I think that's the call. I think a substitution for North. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the captain Ryan Opperman depart the pitch. He's been hobbling on that knee for 10 or 15 minutes, Ton. So
yeah, as we see Opperman running across, he doesn't seem to smooth that running motion. So you might be right, Craig, as Stosic now has the ball. He's got 1, 2, 3 players. He's with Opperman now. Knocks it back to Barnovac, who in turn knocks it back to Flavel. Looks like a substitution is about to be made on the Warrior bench. Lockie McGrath, he's getting himself ready. Or possibly not.
Yeah, possibly not.
As Pikett now goes out wide looking for Anderson right in front of the grandstand here at Elko Park. Knocks it back to Kosdra. Bit of a light mist starting to develop. As Kosdra goes to looking for Ellis. A little bit too far. And it is going to be, well, too far for him to control it, I suppose. And it is a goal kick now to the Zebras. There is indeed going to be a substitution. We're just going to wait and see who is going to come on.
Yeah, I have a sneaky feeling it might have changed. I think it's probably going to be Jonathan Pikett that'll be coming off to be replaced by Lockie McGrath.
We'll just keep an eye on that. But that is indeed going to be the case, as Pikett is coming off to be replaced by live wire attacking midfielder Lockie McGrath.
Yeah, he's going to offer something very different. He had his first run out on Saturday last week after 14 weeks without a game through injury, and they've missed him. I have to say they've missed his, as you said, live wire is the way that he puts himself about the field, and is certainly going to cause their back four a few problems in this second half.
Sun trying to poke through the clouds here at Elko Park. Not doing a good job as the ball now rebounds back. Barnovac gets it back to Flavel. And into the safe hands of Hamish Flavel there. And the North Geelong custodian now looking further afield where to get his ball knocked away there, or headed away by Tidmarsh. Cudnamorny now has the ball in the middle of the park. Watson now. McGrath almost gets his first touch on that occasion. He does get it. He's pulled away. He's going to get a free kick, the youngster.
Yeah, it could be.
As he had Luka Skorko running alongside him almost into a free space there. So one of those professional fouls, as they would deem it, Craig.
Yeah, professional foul. Good place to do that. But I'm surprised the referee didn't get his carded actually for that. Thought that might have been a yellow card, and it's a throw in deep in the North Geelong half of the pitch, or the Moreland Zebras defensive third, as North get in to try and to stop them from getting out. And
lots of goals around the grounds at the moment. We've got another goal that has been scored after 64 minutes at Galvin Park. Werribee City and Brunswick City 2-2. Obviously, we've got a 1-1 scoreline here at Elko Park between the Warriors and the Zebras. Northcote City at half-time leading Langwarren 1-0. Now, Northcote City, that would take them to 19 points, equal top. Obviously, with the teams above it not having yet played. And Manningham United still leading Goulburn 1-0, and that is after 22 minutes at John McEwen Reserve in Shepparton. The substitute for the Zebras has the ball there, but it's Opperman dispossessing him very quickly. George Ellis now right in front of us. Looks for Nogler. It's going to be knocked off one of the Zebras players, and that was Tidmarsh, I think it was. And the ball is going to be a throw-in to North Geelong Warriors. Quickly taken by Ellis. Jurkovic almost had it on that occasion. Watson now gets it away. Barnovac He finds McGrath on the grandstand side. He's got two Zebras players to contend with. Kosdra now kicks it out, unable to control it. Ball goes out of play. Throw in to the Zebras deep inside their defensive half to be taken, it appears, by Nicola Simioi. If we turn our attention to next week's round of matches, Zebras, they will be hosting Langwarrin on Friday night at CB Smith Reserve. North Geelong Warriors make the short trip up the Princess Highway to Galvin Park, where they'll be taking on, I guess it could be almost called the Princess Highway Derby, couldn't it, Craig? They'll be taking on Werribee City.
It's certainly a derby for me. That's about 2 minutes from my home, so yeah, my wife will be happy. I won't have to get up at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning and head off to football. It's another free kick, and I think he's going to get, that's a yellow card. Yeah. But local derby next week again.
Depending on what happens at Werribee City today, at the moment the score there is 2-2 with Moreland City. But if the Werribee City Bees can pull off another goal, they will be really nudging close to the Warriors once again, depending on the outcome of the game here. But the Warriors were looking very good up until recently when they conceded a penalty and they were leading 1-0. But there's plenty of time for more goals in this game, as we see on the far side. A free kick to the Zebras just outside the penalty box. Two-man wall there as Skorko and McGrath try to stop the ball. And goes to the far back post there. Waitley was a little bit off balance, but he tried to get on his left foot there and have a shot there, but Hamish Flavell had that well protected. Look at the ball almost swirling over the head of the Zebras defenders as Lockie McGrath now lays it off for Kosdra. It seems to me the Warriors aren't playing the wind very well in these opening stages of the second half. A lot of those balls are just going that little bit too far for their teammates to control it, Craig.
Yeah, I think they're trying to force the play a little bit, Tonch, and they don't need to do that. They just need to get the ball down on the ground. Unless it's a little bit deeper and they can play the balls in behind, just try not to force the ball. And I think that's part of the problem, Tonch. It's not I don't think it's the wind. I think it's their final pass and their sort of the reality of forcing the pass, and they don't need to do that. Just keep the ball and work it around the pitch.
George Ellis there getting a free kick. Tidmarsh went down, holding his head. A little bit of a follow-through, I suppose, but the damage was on the other end, and Ellis receiving that free kick. So he's moved forward now as Kosdra now takes it. Curling
great
shot.
Ball. That's a fantastic ball. Yeah, right into the danger area. That just needed a red head to get on the end of that one. Fantastic ball.
Good challenge there by the scorecall. Ball goes out of play, quickly taken by Anderson, or was going to be quickly taken, and now he's had second thoughts, and he's going to go for a long throw. There's a push there on the edge of the box. I think it was Barnabas. The referee didn't see that. Skorko once again. Stosic back to Skorko. Knocks it out, looking for Nogler. Nogler's there. Got Tidmarsh to take on. Look at that nice ball. That was Barnabas almost had it.
That's a corner. Yeah, referee's got that one wrong, Tonch. That's definitely a corner.
Well, I tell you what, Barnabas almost had a reason to appeal a penalty there. Who was being pushed around there? Was it from the side? Was it from the back? But some errant refereeing there, and a yellow card now issued to Michael Anderson. Teams from both sides, players from both sides, not happy with the referee.
No,
interesting.
Just saw that again then, Tonch, on the replay in front of us, and look, it was a touch by the full back four, Moreland Zebras, and Michael Anderson just a little bit late, probably well deserved the yellow card. But I've seen worse in this game that didn't get the yellow card, so it does frustrate coaches, players alike, and supporters when the officials sometimes don't. Are not consistent enough. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's the biggest thing. We all understand that they're under, tremendous pressure in games, but sometimes they don't help themselves with some of the decisions they make.
Well, Flavel's long kick there was once again wind assisted, and the ball just went out. And Josh Knight now has the ball. Barnavats. Flavel knocks it now. Forward looking for Jurkovic. And he's knocked over, and he's going to get a free kick on that occasion. That was Cardamone there.
He really is a handful for a young... You talk about young players. This lad's 18 years old. He gets battered week in, week out. Never complains, gets up, gets on with the job. Fantastic young... if all the young, players looking of how to react on a football field. I think Luka Jurkovic for me is one player that I have a lot of time for. He's a very young kid, but got a very old head on his shoulder. That's for sure.
Comes from a famous line of Jurkovic's. His older brother Nikola plays for the Melbourne Knights. Was in action last night against the league leaders Avondale FC. Another convincing performance by the Avengers, running out 2-0 winners at Knights Stadium after they played here on Tuesday night in the FFA Cup game. As a thundering effort there that hits the crossbar. I just missed who that was on that occasion.
I think it was Cameron Watson.
Could have been. Nogla now looking forward for Jurkovic. Jurkovic tries to get around Sadler, unable to do so, and the ball gets knocked back to Kostadinovski by Sadler. Barnavats now, middle of the park. Vidosic. Watson. He finds Barfarosh now going forward with Opperman close by. Vidosic again. Barfarosh. He's got Stosic and Skorkorn. Nogla in the end pokes it away. Back with Barfarosh. Watson. Vidosic now. The Zebras knocking it around quite confidently, but they're dispossessed as Nogla now.
Yeah, need to keep the ball now, North. Zebras have got on top now. They've got a foothold in the game. They've got their goal. They're knocking it around. Plenty of movement from their front 3 or 4 players. North now need to just win the ball back and keep the ball for a couple of minutes. Try and get some frustrations back in the Moreland Zebras backline.
We're into the 73rd minute now. Watson has the ball in the middle of the park now. Does a little dance around Anderson. Gets past Skorkor. This is a dangerous time for the Warriors. Simioi now had it. Pokes it out to Vidosic to his left. Watson now, bit of space.
That's a good little ball, well read from.
And then an opportunity now for the Warriors to do a counter-attack as Nogla now has the ball. He knocks it in board to Anderson. Anderson kicks it in front of him. Manages to control it on the edge of the court penalty box. Knocks it in board. He's got 2 players there. It's Tidmarsh gets the ball away. And that could have been dangerous for the Zebras. How effective a counter-attack can be in that type of a situation.
Yeah, absolutely. From one end of the box where it's a fantastic ball in through the middle from Cameron Watson. Well read from Matthew Stosic, and all of a sudden the break's on, and it's 2v2 in the opposite end of the pitch. We saw that with the Moreland Zebras goal of how quickly teams can transit. What's the word? Gone blank. Transition. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I went blank then. The transition, and that was definitely a case in point there from North.
Kosdra now has the ball. Goes to the back post. There's no one there. He's looking for Jamie Nogla. Speaking of fast plays, ball's gone out of play, and it is going to be a throw into the Zebras. We've gone close to 74 minutes, into the 75th minute now. So just over a quarter of an hour to go in the contest here. Barnavats now knocks it back to Flavel. Neogorian bearing down on him, so Flavel lets it loose. Skorkor now has the ball. Goes across, and Anderson, who was down moments earlier, misread that. Stosic now played a solid game. He finds McGrath further afield. Can't control it with his first touch. Cardamone gets it, pushes it forward. And he too couldn't control it as a throw into the Warriors. Tidmarsh goes into Vidosic. He's got Opperman close by. Niagorian takes it right to the corner post. Goes back to Watson. Goes to the back post. Stosic knocks it away, and it is going to be a corner for the Zebras. And it looks like we're going to have another substitution for the Warriors. As we see Mitchell Stosic, number 20.
Yeah, we'll have the two
getting
brothers
ready to go.
The two brothers are on the pitch. I believe it'll be coming on for the veteran Michael Anderson, who'll be making way. Who
has the ball right now?
Speak. Yep. I think that might be his last.
Substitution about to be made. This ball whistles past Vidosic there and goes out of play, and an opportunity for the referee to just halt proceedings and allow the Warriors to make their substitution. The veteran Michael Anderson coming off. He did cop a knock about 5 or so minutes ago, so that's probably the reason for him to come off, but it's been a pretty good performance by the veteran player.
Yeah,
done well.
Always gives 100%. Mitch Anderson coming on the pitch. Coming on the pitch now, another young lad, 18 years old, regular for the 21s, gets his opportunity for the senior group tonight.
Ball in the middle of the park now as Vidosic has it to Watson. Back to Vidosic. Looks for Barfarosh. He's got a couple of players around him. He's got no choice but to go backwards to Waitley. Simioi on that far side. Kadamone 1-2.
On the wrong side of him again. It's
referee waves play on.
Yes.
There's not too many calls for a penalty on that occasion.
That's not the first time that the Zebras have got the wrong side, or the North defenders have got the wrong side of the attacking player, and it's always dangerous in those situations, Tons, where if you are the wrong side and you've got a striker running down you, that there's a possibility of sticking a leg out and pulling the defender down. So yeah, lesson to be learnt there for North. They've already given away one penalty because of it, and they certainly don't want another one.
Throw into North Geelong Warriors on the far side, quickly taken by Kosdra. Looking for a player further afield. Ellis now has an opportunity to stream down this right side. He finds Jamie Nogler. There was a hastily passed ball on that occasion. I think he was going for George Ellis, but unfortunate for him, didn't come off the way he wanted that to come off. Tidmarsh. Further afield. Barnavats now heads it to Flavel.
Big shout out to Lisa Lambley, who's quoted that he will love being called a veteran player. You're absolutely spot on, Lisa. I should have said old.
Barnavats now. Ellis. Down to Opperman. Ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into the Zebras to be taken there by Nathan Tidmarsh. He goes inboard. Waitley in the middle of the park. He sprays it out wide looking for Nicola Simioi with McGrath bearing down on him. Kosdra as well. Knight now. Big fella there, Niagorian has the ball. Waitley. Not too many options further afield. He goes for Vidosic to his left. Back to Waitley. Cuts it in. This could be dangerous. It's a corner now for the Zebras. We've got... We're into now the 80th minute. Substitution to be made now by the Moreland Zebras. Coming off was Cameron Watson, the captain. He's replaced by number 6, Luke DeWitt, who in turn passes on the captain's armband and passed it on to
Matthew Watley.
Daro Vidosic, but he's given it to Watley. Nogler now clears it. Only as far as Simioi in the middle of the park. He finds the substitute David. Josh Knight now. Tries to get around Skorkor, does. Floats it in towards, on that occasion, straight to Hamish Flavel. He was looking for Waitley, but wasn't able to find him, and instead found the opposition goalkeeper. But the ball now moves virtually in front of our commentary position here, and it's a throw into the Warriors. It's round 13 clash here at Alco Park. Ellis knocks it forward. Mitchell Stosic, who just come on moments earlier, fought for that ball. And the Warriors are preparing a third substitution. And Craig, you'll keep an eye out on that. Who's going to be coming on, who's going to be coming off. As we see on the far side, Stosic gets clipped on the heels there. He earns a free kick. Good effort there by the substitute. And we're going to find a free kick to be taken by Nick Kosdra right on the halfway line.
Yeah, substitution for North. Probably their final one. It's coming onto the field of play is Nicholas Valarovic, and he'll be replacing Miss Jamie Nogler, who's had a good game today. Now we are going to see balls, I would imagine, being played over the top. Nick Valarovic is just built for speed and get him going, and he's going to cause a lot of problems on this right hand side. So let's see how North play the last 10 minutes.
The ball goes further afield to Lockie McGrath. Dispossessed there by Waitley, but he tries to fight for it. Great tenacious play there by McGrath. Skorkor's in the thick of the action there as well. Waitley manages to hold on to it, goes launching attack, looking there for Barfarosh, who tries to find Niagorian, who keeps it under control. David there, Luke David. Sprays it out wide, but Skorkor now nips in. Kosdra, back to Skorkor. Further afield, looking for the substitute, Vladovic.
Yeah, I think the referee got aware that one will be a drop ball.
It looks like it will be.
But just looking at the North players here, Tonch, and a bit of a fact for our listeners is there's actually 7 players on the pitch as we speak that are under the age of 20 for North Geelong, which is a phenomenal result, really. When you look around the leagues now, there's not many clubs give up that many opportunities to youngsters.
I guess it helps when your football operations manager is none other than Josip Skorkor, who knows the value of giving young players a go. He himself, I think, was only 17 here as a senior team player when he actually left North Geelong to greener pastures overseas. Yep. First of all, starting off at Hajduk Split. And here's another interesting fact. He's the first foreigner, even though he's of Croatian descent, but the first foreigner ever to be appointed the captain of the legendary Hajduk Split football club.
There we go.
So some great accolades here. Now he's got the next generation continuing that with Luka Skorkor, who's had a pretty solid game there for the Warriors.
Yeah, not just in this group, Tonch, right throughout the ages. If you look right down to the under 15s, fantastic young players coming through there with Joey Dilowitz as their coach, Josip Skorkor, of course, the under 16s coach, and even the under 19s today. Tonch, there was no less than 8 16-year-olds playing in the under 19s in the second half of the game. So, a real good opportunity for young players to get regular game time in a really good environment here.
Looks like Anthony Barnovac is down. He's groggy. He's got to his feet, which is always a good sign. But referee has halted proceedings here. Just making sure everything's fine there. I don't think it was a head clash, but he certainly got up rather groggy. That's to say the least. Looks like he's going to walk off and just get a moment on the sidelines before he comes back on. Nicholas Niagorian, who I think was involved in that challenge, just goes over and says, no hard feelings, buddy. It's all part of the game. And the ball is going to restart virtually in the centre of the park, or right in the centre of the park. And it's going to be the Warriors captain, Ryan Opperman, who's going to restart the proceedings. And we're just waiting on the referee. 85 minutes gone.
Yeah, he looks a bit dazed there coming off, does the big man at the back, Anthony Banavats, but it's going to take a lot to keep him off the pitch. And but of course the medics here have to make sure that he's okay. But he took a bit of a knock to the face there and a little bit concussed, I think. But we'll see. Like I said, he's going to take a lot to keep him off the pitch.
As McGrath gets it to Kozra, Skorko, I think that is, whips it in, looking for Luka Jurkovic. Shouts for push in the back. The referee waves those on. Says no, there's nothing there. But he does wave Banovats back onto the park, and the tall centre back returns to the thick of the action. Got about 5 minutes left in the ball game here. Scores are locked at 1-1. Storšić, George Ellis, Skorko in the middle of the park. Storšić there fighting for the ball. George Ellis pokes it away. Tidmarsh now for the Zebras. Goes for a searching ball on the far right-hand side. It's Kozra, and I think it's Josh Knight fighting for the ball on that occasion. Knight has it. Tries to get past Kozra. He does. And then he just blasts that effort to the other side.
Such a good player, Josh Knight. Very good balance on the ball. Hasn't been at the professional standard that some Zebras would be used to for sure. But another great pass.
Ellis now looking for Kozra in the middle of the park. His body's flying all over the shop at the moment as Vidosic has it on the edge. Beautifully taken by Ellis. And now it's Nicholas Vlahovic. Gets it out to McGrath. Well, those orange boots fly from Vlahovic. He really is a speedster. Opperman now. Back to Kozra. Once again, Opperman now to McGrath. Can the Warriors build something here? Ball goes further afield. Quickly taken over Kostadinovski. He goes to Vidosic, right in front of our camera position here at Alco Park. Back in board to Tidmarsh. Long, searching ball. Was looking on that occasion to Neogorian, but Flavel really read that well. Even when it was the penalty, when he conceded the penalty, in fact he conceded 2 penalties, was retaken. Hamish Flavel really read the play very well. He's a very good reader of the football.
He's a good goalkeeper. He's certainly be up there with in the top 2 or 3 goalkeepers in this league. He's been around the club for a while now. Took a bit of a learning curve at State League 4 in Bannockburn for Golden Plains, and then came back to North Geelong about 3 or 4 years ago, and hasn't moved from the number 1 spot here at Alco Park. Very, very good, accomplished goalkeeper.
When you think about it, Craig, I mean, Anthony Banovats was another one that stepped down to State 1 action with Karaya, as you mentioned, with Hamish Flavel. Lockie McGrath was another one. He also went to State League 1 Cry. Sometimes for these young players, the best thing that they could do is get some of that regular senior football action. And it may seem like a step backwards, but it actually is probably more like a case of 1 step back, 2 steps forward.
Well, I suppose it depends on the club, Tonch, and depends on the coach of the senior team, whether he's the type of coach that will give opportunities to the youngsters. If you're not getting opportunities and you want to play senior football, absolutely, it's a good learning curve to get away. But if there's a club here now, and North Geelong certainly are that club of giving young players opportunities, you don't really need to go away. You just need to perform. You need to work hard in training, learn off some of the older players here, and give it your best, and the opportunities will arise for you.
It's very dark now. All of a sudden, it's the visibility factor has dropped, certainly down here at the Alco Park complex in Lara. Got some progress scores in the 90th minute. Brunswick City are now fallen behind. Brunswick City have taken the lead against Werribee City. It's 3-2 now in the 90th minute. A full-time score from the NPL clash between Eastern Lions and St Albans. Eastern Lions have won 2-1. as we see Cardamone now crossing the ball in. Ball goes over Flavel's crossbar, and it's a goal kick to be very, very quickly taken by Hamish Flavel.
Officials just about to put up 6 minutes of additional time at the end of this game. 6 minutes.
6 minutes. There has been a few stoppages for injury and what you're not, so 6 minutes. And other games, Northcote City and Lang Warren, after 65 minutes, the score there is 1-1. And the halftime score up in Shepparton, Manningham United still maintaining a 1-0 lead over the home side, Goulburn Valley Suns. Knight now. Cosdra did very, very well to shield that ball. The ball now is a goal kick. As we said, 6 minutes to go. Still plenty of time for a deciding goal here out at Alco Park. As Nicholas Vladovic almost had the sit there. Ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into the Warriors. Vladovic, a late second half substitute. And it is now George Ellis, who's had a very solid game. He goes to Vladovic now. Crosses it in beautifully. Oh, that's Jurkovic almost with the second of his afternoon. His second for the afternoon. Beautiful header and an equally beautiful save there by Kostadinovski. A corner now to the Warriors. Great piece of play there, Craig Filer.
Yeah, great passage. As we said, Nicky Vlahovic getting down the wing, getting the ball in the box, and a great run from Luka Jukovic to the front post, and a fantastic save from the Moreland Zebras goalkeeper Kostadinovski.
Well, the left-footed Kosdra now looking to curl it in, and he goes towards the back post there. Vlahovic again now, Skorko. And now watch the Zebras come. As Niagorian now come, and look at the black and white streaming forward. Niagorian now is trying to shield the ball, trying to get past Barnavats. Goes forward. He was looking for Simioi there, but I think that was Ryan Opperman. Read that beautifully, kicked the ball out of play. And that allows all the Warriors defenders and the midfield to rush back and aid in the defence. Ball comes forward now. Josh Knight in the middle of the park. Kosdra kicks it away. Jurkovic now. He can't do anything there. Tidmarsh gets it away. Kosdra now. A bit of pinball there happening. Simioi now. McGrath now just chests it down, but the ball goes out of play. Throw into the Zebras. We've gone about 3 minutes into overtime and probably about 3 minutes left. Zebras into attack.
Got to close the ball. No shot in here, and it's gone. It's hit the post and it's come back, and it's
and it is a goal. And there we have it. I don't know who scored that. Going to try and find it on the replay there. I would say that was Nicholas Niagorian, but I'm not certain on that occasion. Came off the post there. Either way, it has been stolen. The result has been stolen late in this game. There's going to be a substitution, or there's attempted substitution. Lachlan Campbell looking likely to come back on. The Warriors will be very, very unhappy about that as Nicholas Vlahovic has that ball. McGrath now on the edge. And ball goes out wide, and it is going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, look, it's that's massively disappointing for North, who certainly don't deserve that. But for the second week on the bounce, they've conceded a goal in the final minute of the game.
But that's Thomas Barfrosh. He's about to be substituted. He's going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Lachlan Campbell. We're going to try and find out exactly who the scorer of that goal was. But it's 2-1 now. 2-1 to the visitors, the Zebras. And a real disappointing outcome for the home side. They were up 1-0 at half-time, courtesy of a 31st minute goal by Luka Jurkovic, who almost got his second about 5 or so minutes ago. And with about a minute to play here at Alco Park, a deathly silence has just descended upon the club here, upon the Alco Park complex. As they say, the stuffing just seems to have been knocked out of the crowd, of the coaching staff, of the players. As Hamish Fulvel now has the ball, and he's going to try and get the ball as quickly as possible into his attacking half. Nicholas Niagorian menacingly trying to stop him from there, and there it is. It is full time here at Alco Park. So the Zebras have come back from a goal down to steal it here in the dying moments of the game and have run out 2-1 winners, and that draws the curtain on what has been a very entertaining game of football played in wintry, windy and cold conditions here at Alco Park, Craig. But the Warriors faithful just cannot believe it. They're shaking their heads. How did you see the game as a whole?
Look, I think 1-1 would have been a fair reflection on the game, but you know, I will say I was at the game last week for North against Northcote, where I commentated along with our colleague Steve Curtin. Exactly the same thing happened last week. Just a lapse of concentration in the final minutes of games. They conceded last week, and obviously they conceded, you know, a worse goal this week because it actually deemed them to defeat. So good game of football. Not the result that North Geelong would have wanted. A fantastic result for Moreland Zebras, and on to next week.
We certainly hope you enjoyed today's live and exclusive live stream on the NPL Victoria Facebook page and YouTube channels. On behalf of everyone here, on behalf of Craig Fowler and myself, Tonchi Prusak, thank you very much for tuning today. Goodbye.